Hey guys, welcome back to the floor of the brickitect studio. I'm down here today because I'm going to be working and sharing a Pops set with you. If you guys don't know who Pops is, which I'm sure most of you do, but Pops is a guy that I like to call the biggest supporter of our Lego backlog. Obviously, he is a huge fan of our backlog because it seems like every time we start to get it whittled down, I don't know if he has a spidey sense or what it is, but he ends up sending us a whole bunch of sets, and that's what he did a few weeks ago. And I wanted to share one with you that I'm really excited about, but also kind of nervous about. It's this set right here. This is Lego Experts Building Set 952. It's this awesome tractor, and I'm excited about this for obvious reasons. It's a really sweet looking set, but I'm nervous about it because when he sent it to us, and this wasn't his fault, but it kind of came open a little bit, and as you can see, the pieces started coming out, and a bunch of them went into the box that it came in, so I was able to recover those, hopefully. So I'm hoping that I have all the pieces here, but if not, I do have this, which I organized really nicely, and I probably should have made sure that that was closed before I lift this up. This is like my entire Technic collection, and hopefully if there are some pieces missing from this, I can pull them from there. A little note on here, it says annual inside cover, which I'll show you here in a second, but let's take a look at the back of this. This is a really cool tractor that apparently has a bunch of attachments that you can put on it. I'm not entirely sure exactly how this works because I haven't gotten into it yet, but I will get the manual out here and show you the inside of this. Isn't that just awesome vintage Lego? And to have this in such a nice condition, and for him to send this to us, I thought was very generous. And that's something I should probably also note about Pops. Probably one of the most generous people that I've ever, I want to say met. I haven't met Pops, but I feel like we know him at this point because he's been such a big part of our channel, and I feel like he's almost like a character on here, just like me, Clark, and you got Roxy, Mrs. Brickitect. Pops, you might as well just join us because you're a part of the family here. This is what the manual looks like. And it's interesting because it looks like they show a bunch of different sets on here. Obviously, I don't have the pieces to build that, at least in the blue color that they show there. There's a little go-kart there. Here's the next page if you want to see that. And then we get to, I guess, what I'm working on, which is 952, the farm tractor expert building set. So that's what it'll look like when it's all done, assuming I have all the pieces here, and I'm hoping that I do. The steps start right down here, and they go on, I'm sure, to the next page, and hopefully you can see this okay. We got more notes in here. Pops has thought of me here. He must know that I'm not the best builder in the world, but he's got some notes in here about the axles. I guess this is one of the attachments he put on. Looks like maybe like a mowing blade, maybe? The note in here says, neither Brickstar nor I can figure out where the red 1x4 brick goes. Oh boy, I'm definitely not the guy to figure that out. Wish me luck on this. I'll be back with you in just 1 second with what hopefully should be the completed farm tractor. Alright guys, I'm back. I just finished the build and I am happy to report that all of the pieces were there. The farm tractor is 100% complete. I even had the infamous 1x4 red brick, which just like Pops and Brickstar, I couldn't figure out where it went. It's listed in the manual as a part of the attachment that you can see on the back here, but there is nowhere in the instructions that it actually goes on. But aside from that extra piece, everything on this build turned out really great, and I love the model. You can see just how gorgeous this is. And for 1978, just to think how far Lego's come, this is a fantastic model for the time period. I'll start kind of moving this around so you can see it from different angles, and I want to talk about how this reminded me of my childhood, not in Lego, but it reminded me of some metal tractors that I had back when I was a kid, and I really loved them, and this took me right back to that. And it was more fun to have this because this is a set that you can actually build and play with versus just driving a metal tractor around. Take you in a little bit closer so you can see some of the detail on this, and one thing that I do want to show you is that this has a steering wheel, and down here this actually moves the wheels back and forth, so you can turn this tractor every which way, and it's very smooth. I was surprised just how smooth that was. And for me, just having come off working on the steering on the Technic Porsche, coming to this with so limited pieces and still working properly, I really have to hand it to the designers on this. As we come around to the back of the tractor, this is where things get really interesting because that attachment that goes on the back there, when you start to move the tractor forward and backwards, it has those cutting blades that go around, and that's all working off the gears that are on there, and I thought that was a really nice addition. Another thing you can do with the attachment is raise it up and down using this lever. So if you want to drive it away with no attachments down, you can do that, and if you want to drop it back down, just like that. Even further than that, if you want to take these pins out, there's a pin there and there's also a pin down here. You can take the attachment off entirely and you're just left with the tractor itself. And I think it probably looks best like this if you're putting it on display. Before we wrap up here, I do want to show you one thing that I'm not a huge fan of. It's this little light here. This thing is kind of just wedged in there. I'm not a big fan of that building technique. I don't see Lego doing that really at all anymore, but it works. I've had to adjust it a couple times, but that's just a very small complaint. I just have so much appreciation for this set, for it being 40 years old, and I'm not knocking sets from back then, but you can see the progression that Lego Technic has made, and some of the sets that come out today, like the Technic Porsche, like I mentioned earlier, just incredible, but to see where it's come from and to have the opportunity to build this set, is just a true honor, and I'm really thankful for Pops sending this to me. And Pops, if you're watching this, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And maybe you guys that are watching this, just like me, have come to appreciate vintage Lego that much more by seeing just how great these older sets are. So I want to thank you all for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one.